Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Monday, 29th of September. It is Ashwini Masa, Padmanabha Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Saptami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events in the calendar. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Maitreya Muni was speaking to Vidura. So with regards to the Virata Purusha, so what are the different kinds of functions have been manifested? So in the yesterday's session, so he was mentioning about from the face of the Virat Rupa, Vedic knowledge has been manifested, and also out of this Varnashrama Dharma Brahmanas, so they were inclined to learn this Vedic knowledge. Mukato avartata Brahma Purushasya Kurudvaha Yastu Unmukatvad Varnanam Mukhya Abhut Brahmano Guruhu Mukhya Abhut Brahmano Guruhu. So Brahmanas, who are the spiritual masters of the society. So after saying that, Maitreya Muni further describing about the second function is about the Kshatriyas. The function of the Kshatriyas was manifested from the arms of the Virata Rupa. And then the Kshatriyas, they were able to protect all the other Varnas, Brahmanas, Sudras, and Vaishyas. So likewise, Maitreya Muni is speaking. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 6, verse number 31. बाहुभ्यो आवर्तत क्षत्रम् क्षत्रियः तदनुव्रतः यो जातः त्रायते वर्णान् पौरुषः कण्टकक्षतात्. Bahubhyo avartata kshatram. So from the arms of the Virat Rupa, Bahubhyo avartata, and what got generated, Kshatram is the power of protection. Is the in relation to the power of protection, Kshatriyaha tad anurataha, who are the followers of the Kshatram, the Dharma, Kshatriya Dharma. So this is the tad anurataha. Yo jataha traite varnan. So what is that function? Jataha. So it becomes trayate, they delivers varnan, the other occupations. Trayate varnan, like the Brahmanas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. Paurushaha Kantaka. Paurushaha, the representative of the personality of Godhead. Kantaka is the disturbing elements like thieves and debauchees. Kantaka Kshatat, from the mischief. Okay, so these are the functions of the Kshatriya, to protect the citizens from all other thieves and debauchees like that. So Bahubhya avatata kshatram kshatriyah tadhanuratah yo jatah trayate varnan paurushaha kantaka kshatat. So translation for this shloka. Thereafter, the power of protection was generated from the arms of the gigantic Virata form. And in relation to such power, the Kshatriyas also came into existence by following the Kshatriya principle of protecting society from the disturbance of thieves and miscreants. Purported by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As the Brahmanas are recognized by their particular qualification of inclination towards the transcendental knowledge of Vedic wisdom, so also Kshatriyas are recognized by the power to protect society from the disturbing elements of thieves and miscreants. The word Anurataha is significant. A person who follows the Kshatriya principles by protecting society from thieves and miscreants is called a Kshatriya, not the one who is simply born a Kshatriya. The conception of the caste system is always based on quality and not on the qualification of birth. Birth is an extraneous consideration. It is not the main feature of the orders and divisions. In Bhagavad Gita 18.41 to 44, the qualification of the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are specifically mentioned. And it is understood that all such qualifications are needed before one can be designated as belonging to a particular group. Lord Vishnu is always mentioned as the Purusha in all Vedic scriptures. Sometimes the living entities are also mentioned as Purushas, although they are essentially Purusha Shakti, Parashakti, or Paraprakriti, the superior energy of Purusha. Illusioned by the external potency of the Purusha, the Lord, the living entities falsely think of themselves as the Purusha, although they actually have no qualifications. The Lord has the power to protect. Of the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, the first has the power to create, the second has the power to protect, and the third has the power to destroy. The word Purusha is significant in this verse because Kshatriyas are expected to represent the Purusha Lord in giving protection to the Prajas, or all those who are born in the land and water. Protection is therefore meant for both men and the animals. In modern society, the Prajas are not protected from the hands of thieves and miscreants. The modern democratic state, which has no Kshatriyas, is a government of the Vaishyas and Sudras, and of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas as formerly. Maharaj Yudhishthira and his grandson Maharaja Parikshit were typical Kshatriya kings, for they gave protection to all men and animals. When the personification of Kali attempted to kill a cow, Maharaja Parikshit at once prepared himself to kill the miscreant, and the personification of Kali was banished from his kingdom. That is the sign of Purusha, or the representative of Lord Vishnu. According to Vedic civilization, a qualified Kshatriya monarch is given the respect of the Lord because he represents the Lord by giving protection to the Prajas. Modern elected presidents cannot even give protection from theft cases, and therefore one has to take protection from an insurance company. The problems of modern human society are due to the lack of qualified Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, and the over influence of the Vaishyas and Sudras by so called general franchise. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing about the functions of the Brahmanas and functions of the Kshatriyas. So Brahmanas, they are inclined towards the transcendental knowledge of Vedic wisdom. So that is the Yastu Unmukatvad Varnanam. Unmukatvad. So they are inclined towards the Mukato Avartita Brahma. Brahma is the Vedic wisdom. Brahmanas, what are the qualities of the Brahmanas? In the Bhagavad Gita, it is described here in the 18th chapter, 42 shloka. So here, if you look at here, समोद्दमः तपः शौचं शान्तिः आर्जवम् एव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजम् is the functions of the Brahmana. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. And then coming to Kshatriyas, Sauryam, Tejo, Dhritihi, Dhaksham, Yuddhe cha api apalayanam. Danam Yeshwar Bhavasya Shatram Karma Subhavajam. So Sauryam is the heroism and Tejaha is the power. Dhritihi, determination. And then Daksham, resourcefulness. Yuddhe cha api apalayanam. So courage in battle. Apalayanam means, palayana means is flee away from the battle. Apalayana means he would stand and fight. It doesn't matter whether he will be victorious or he will be killed. So again, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that if you hatva va prapse swargam jitva va prapse, one particular shlok it comes, if you win, हत्वा वा प्राप्स्ये स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्माद् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः. If you win the battle, then you will enjoy this opulence in this material world. If you die, you'll go back to heaven. So that is mentioned. So this is apalayanam. And then kshatram karma subhavajam. These are the Danam Ishvara bhavasya. Danam is the charity. Ishvara bhavaha is he is always inclined to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a servant. He is representing the Supreme Lord. That is called Ishvara Bhava. It is not simply king. He is just simply ruling, and then he doesn't have any uh, devotional service to the Lord. Such kind of people are Vaishyas or not even Vaishyas. So they are called they do not have any faith in the Lord. So that does not yield any good results. So Danam Ishvara Bhavasya. Kshatram Karma Subhavajam. Okay, so coming back to the shloka here. So these are Kshatriyas are recognized by the power to protect society from disturbing elements of thieves and miscreants. And Anurtaha is significant. A person who is a Kshatriya, who follows the Kshatriya principles by protecting society from thieves and miscreants is called a Kshatriya, not the one who is simply born a Kshatriya. So he is the Anuvrataha, who is the follower of the Dharma. And the conception of the caste system is always based on quality and not on the qualification of birth. So this is Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagashaha. Tasya Kartaram Apima Vidya Kartaram Avyayam. It is guna, is the quality based on quality, not on the qualification. And then birth is an extraneous consideration, not by birth. It is not the main feature of orders and divisions. So everything is based on the quality of a person, which is to be cultivated from his birth. So there are different samskaras, Upanayana samskaras for the top three orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas, not for the Sudras. Sudras are labor class. This is Paricharyatmakam, that is Sudra Karma Subhavajam. And in the Bhagavad Gita 18.41 and 44, the qualification of the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are specifically mentioned, and it is understood that all such qualifications are needed before one can be designed as belonging to a particular group. Okay, that is that particular paragraph. And in second paragraph, it is mentioned, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, Lord Vishnu is always mentioned as the Purusha in all Vedic scriptures. So sometimes we have got also in the Rig Veda, Purusha Sukta, it is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Sahasra Sisha Purusaha Sahasrakshaha Sahasrapat. So there, Sabhumim Visvato Ritva Atyatishta Dashangulam. Purusha Evedugum Sarvam Yadbhotam Yatya Bhavyam Utamritva Sheshanaha Yadannate Natirohati. So there it is describing about Purusha Sukta, about the spiritual world and material world, and also the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and also Sudras, where they are situated within the body of Virata Rupa. Okay, there are further descriptions on it. And here, sometimes the living entities are also mentioned as Purushas, although they are essentially Purusha Sekti. The living entities are belonging to marginal energy of the Lord. There are three energies: superior energy, inferior energy, and marginal energy. Also, the living entities, which will all living entities actually belonging to the spiritual world, spiritual nature. It is Bhautvotsarsarghau lokesmin Daiva Asura Evacha Vishnu Bhakta Smita Daiva Asuraha Tad Vipriyaha. Similarly, there is one more shloka coming in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There are two kinds of living entities, Kshara Akshara Evacha. Potastu Akshara Evache. Uh, there it is mentioned Ksharaha Sarva Bhutani Potastu Akshara Uchyate. And then some living entities, they are Kshara, they falls down to the material world. And the other living entities, Akshara, they're always situated in the spiritual world. They're the eternally living in the spiritual world. And in the Vishnu, one more shloka that Prabhupada used to quote, and the Vishnu Shakti para prokta kshetra jnakya tata para avidya karma sanyaya tritiya Shakti rishyate. Tritiya Shakti rishyate. Living entities belongs to Tritiya Shakti. That is the marginal energy. They belong to the one of the energy of the Lord. So again, apare mitasvanyam viddhime param prakritim jivabhota mahabaho edam dharite jagat. They belongs to this param prakritim. Living entities belongs to param, but they come down to the material world, inferior energy of the Lord. That's why jivabhotam mahabaho edam dharite jagat, and coming here and experiencing pains and pleasures because they wanted to imitate the Lord. This is getting kind of lauded over material nature. And then illusion by the external potency of the Purusha, the Lord, the living entities falsely think of themselves as the Purusha, although they actually have no qualifications. The Lord has the power to protect. Of the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, the first has the power to create, and the second has the power to protect, and the third has the power to destroy. So though the Lord expands himself as Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, so here the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will descend himself as the Vishnu. So Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he descends himself as Vishnu, as a Purusha, and keeping Brahma and Maheshwara in his control. So Sujami Tanniktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishwam Purusha Rupena Paripati Vishwadruk. So in the Purusha, he maintains this creation, maintenance, and destruction. But here he keeps Brahma and Maheshwara in his control. Tadvashaha. And then the word Purusha is significant in this verse because Kshatriyas are expected to represent the Purusha, Lord, in giving protection to the Prajas, or all those who are born in the land and water. So this is one of the statements of Kardama Prajapati. Nunam Chankaramanam Deva Satam Samrakshanayate Vadam Cha Asatam Yastum Harehe Sektrihi Palini. He gives protection, a king gives protection to the devotees, brahmanas, and sadhus like that. And then he also punishes the miscreants, thieves, debauchees like that. Nonam Chankramanam Deva Satam Samrakshanayate Vadam Cha Asatam Yastvam Harehe Siktirihi Palini. He is the Harehe Siktirihi Palini. He is representative of the Hari Shakti. Harehe Siktirihi Palini. And again, he is also representative of the different demigods. Yo Arka Indu Agnindra, Yamadharma, Yo Arka Indu Agnindra, Vayonam Yamadharma Prachetasam, Rupanistan Adaste Tasmai Suklaite Namaha. He represents all the demigods. The king represents all the demigods. Tasmai Suklaite Namaha. Sukla is the Vishnu. He is the representative of Vishnu. So sometimes some people misuse this knowledge, thinking that, for example, Vena, during his tenure, all the sages they have made Vena as the king due to the Anga, the father of Vena. So he left the kingdom because of this Vena's bad activities, and he was not happy with at home, and then he left to the forest for tapasya. But Vena was made king by the sages and Brahmanas. But later, Vena, so he falsely puffed up and thought that I am the god, everyone has to listen to me. And then he was using this knowledge. So a king is like a, all demigods live within the body of the king, so everyone has to worship him. And then making himself, claiming that he is to be worshipped, and all the sacrifices are to be done only for him. And then he used to touch the people. And Brahmanas later on, they got very angry and tried to um, give this knowledge to Vena, but he did not accept it. And then immediately the sages, with their uttering of the sound, just like that, and then they have killed him because he is just representative of the Lord, but not the God he himself. He cannot claim. That is not the right thing. So protection is therefore meant for both man and the animals. So that's a king who is representative of the Lord. He need to protect man, and the animals as well. In modern society, prajas are not protected from the hands of thieves and miscreants because they themselves, almost all of them, Dasyu Prayashu Rajashu, almost all of them are thieves and debauchees, miscreants. They rob the people, but they occupy the higher positions in the political state, and they steal the money in a official way, formal way. So the modern democratic state, which has no Kshatriyas, is a government of the Vaishyas and Sudras, and of the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas as formally. Previously, mostly the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas ruled the kingdom. So, for example, um, there was a Chanakya and Chandragupta. So in the recent days, we also see this the Brahmana. So Chanakya is the Brahmana. He never take any remuneration from the king. He is always independent. And Chandragupta is a king, good king, who follows the instructions of the Brahmanas, like the Chanakya and rule. So previously, all these kings that consult the Brahmanas, there is a mutual cooperation. Kshatriyas are तत्राणाय असृजत तस्मान् दोहो सहस्रात् सहस्रपात् हृदयं तस्य ब्रह्म क्षत्रमंगम प्रचक्षते. So Kshatriyas, they are born from the this power, the protection power. So they take the shelter of the arms are there. So this is where they are situated in the Virat Rupa form, in the arm. So here also, it is Bahubhyo Avartata. From his arms, this Kshatram, it was manifested. So, and then this why they have been created Tatranaya to protect the Brahmanas. First of all, Brahmanas are created. Later, to protect the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas are created. Tatranaya Asurjat Tasman Doho Sasrat Sasrapat Pradem Tasya Brahma Kshatramangam Prachakshate. That's why Brahmanas are called heart of the Lord, and then uh, the Kshatriyas are these arms of the Lord. And when there is atohi anyonyam atmanam brahma kshatram cha rakshataha rakshati sma avyudevaha sayaha sad asadatmakaha. When there is a mutual cooperation between the Kshatriyas and Brahmanas, there is Lord is going to protect the Kshatriyas and Brahmanas both and the kingdom entirely. Because he is in the heart of all the living entities, he know how to control. Okay, then functions will be very easy. So here Maharaj Yudhishthira and his grandson Maharaja Parikshit were typical Kshatriya kings, for they gave protection to all men and animals. When the personification of Kali attempted to kill a cow, Maharaja Parikshit at once prepared himself to kill the miscreant, and the personification of Kali was banished from his kingdom. So Yudhishthira and Parikshit, they were like a Apipala Dharmarajaha Pitruvad Ranjian Prajaha. They are looking after their subject just like a father. And but when they are doing that one, Nispruhaha Sarvakamebhyaha, they do not have any sense gratificatory things. Of course, Kshatriyas can enjoy, they can marry many number of wives because they are able to give protection and also livelihood for the all the wives and children. They can marry if they have got that capacity. That is a Kshatriyas, but still for Yudhishthira, he is a devotee of the Lord. Nisprahaha sarvakamebhyaha, as a matter of duty. And he does not have any sense gratification. He is ruling the kingdom. And Krishna Padanu Sevaya, always worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the saintly kings, Rajashis, like Yudhishthira and Parikshit. And Parikshit also, even he is able to kill this Kali Purusha as well. Kali Purusha, there is for four yugas like Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Four yugas, four Purushas are representing these yugas. Whenever the time comes, they enter into that age, enter into the age. So here in this age of Kali, Kali Purusha has entered. But the day whenever Krishna has departed from this material world, at that time he has entered. He was trying to enter into the kingdom. So at the time, as the initial entrance for The cow and bull were stalking each other at the time. Kalipurusha was coming there and then hitting this bull and the cow. Cow is the mother earth in the form of a cow, and dharma in the form of a bull. They were talking at the time. This Kalipurusha is coming and beating them. During the time, Parikshit Maharaj came and then he was trying to punish this Kalipurusha because he is beating the cow. He is trying to kill a cow. So Maharaj Parikshit, when he was trying to kill this Kalipurusha, he surrendered himself to Parikshit, and then Parikshit did not kill him because he surrendered. And then he asked him, just leave this kingdom. But he says that I cannot go because this entire planet is yours. Wherever I go, I see only yourself having this bow and arrows, and you only give me the protection. So it is the quality of a Kshatriya, characteristics of a Kshatriya, that to give protection as well. He can punish, he can give protection as well. Now Kali is surrendered. So he asked him that Parikshit asked Kali Purusha, so you leave, but he says that where can I go? Wherever I go, I only see it is your kingdom. Then he said, you only allocate a few places. Then he gave the four places, that place of killing, place of illicit associations, place of gambling, place of intoxication. Okay, these four places. Again, on the request of Kalipurusha, further one more place, that is Parikshit gave the gold as the fifth place. Amunicha Panchasthanani. See, these are the five places that Kalipurusha always lives. So that's why in our Krishna conscious society, we avoid these four sinful activities as a matter of regulative principles. Okay, so that is what the Kshatriya powers here Maharaja Parikshit exhibited. Okay, so that is sign of Purusha, or the representative of Lord Vishnu. According to Vedic civilization, a qualified Kshatriya monarch is given the respect of the Lord because he represents the Lord by giving protection to the prajas. So he need to live like an example as well. So if the king is pious, all the citizens of the kingdom, they will become pious automatically. They will all follow. Yadyadarishreshtah tat tadheve turunarha sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tad anuvattate. They will all follow the example of the great leaders. So modern elected presidents cannot even give protection from theft cases, and therefore one has to take protection from an insurance company. So here nowadays all these are Dasyuprayashurajish. They themselves are thieves and deposits, robbers. They take the taxes and they take money in the form of salaries or in different ways. They will identify the channels and they accumulate lots of money. They do not distribute to all the people equally. Okay, and then further, the problems of the modern human society are due to lack of qualified Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and the over influence of the Vaishyas and Sudras by so-called general franchise. So due to this one, so people is not always peaceful. This entire world is not always peaceful. People are always disturbed by some way or other. प्रायेण अल्पायुष सभ्य कलावस्मि युगे जनाः मंदाः सुमन्दमतयो मंदभाग्या हि उपद्रुताः. There are mandabhagyahi. They are unfortunate people. They do not have qualified brahmanas and kshatriyas to rule them. Everyone are just on the state of the sudras. Okay, likewise Prabhupada is describing here. So here Maitreya Muni mentioning these kshatriyas, they are born out of the arms of the Lord. बाहुभ्यो आवृतच्छत्रं चित्रैः तदनुव्रतः यो जातः त्रायते वर्णान् पौरुषः कंटकक्षतात्. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to um, Upendra, November 21st, 1970, Bombay. Okay, so it is a big letter. Let me read this letter. So, my dear Upendra, please accept my blessings. I am in receipt of your recent letters dated October and November forth respectively. I have received your frequent reports as you have been traveling, and your account of the situation is of great interest to me. Especially, I am pleased to note your enthusiasm in the matter of spreading Krishna consciousness to all the people of the world. I am so much pleased with your sincere endeavor. You are doing service for the Lord, and He is sure to reward you with advanced Krishna consciousness in no time. I am very glad that you have found some interested and friendly persons to give you at least some temporary assistance in Fiji. Do not be worried about the future. If you will simply work on very strenuously in humble state of mind as a sincere servant of the Lord, then Krishna will give you all facilities. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 1380. I know you are already acquainted with the Lord's mercy in this respect because you have already had several times experience in the matter of establishing our ISKCON temples in different places. I have seen your leaflet and it is very nice. Regarding Hindi Back to Godhead, several hundred copies will be sent to you as soon as they are received by us. Yes, as you have noted, the youth are our most potential source of converts to Krishna consciousness. I do not think it is necessary for you to spend time unnecessarily at this time of your life to learn some foreign languages. But the program, as we have followed with good success, is to find out some local boy who is well acquainted with the English language and train him to preach to general less educated public. This is the best system, and do not be hopeless because you are sure to find such a helper very soon. The article in Hindi paper appears to be nice. It is very good that you have renovated one flat for a temple. Now you can begin your program properly and invite some boys to stay and learn Krishna consciousness under your instruction. The young boy of 14 years is a very prospective candidate if you train him properly, so do it nicely. As usual, always be careful that the regulative principles are being followed by yourself and others very strictly. If you keep to the standard in that way and make a nice temple for serving the Lord, that will be the right path for going home back to Godhead. Regarding Devi Chandan, we have no use for it. It has got no place in our Vaishnava worship. So far the demigods are concerned, we Vaishnavas have nothing against them. So they may be offered all respects as part and parcel servitors of the Supreme Lord Krishna. The foolish persons may worship the demigods as supreme, but we see only that they are agents of the Lord, and as such, we may offer them our humble respects. Hope this will make you in good health. Another thing, although we respect the demigods, we may not take their prasadam if invited. We observe the system followed in Jagannath Puri. First, the food stuff is offered to the Lord Jagannatha, and then his prasada is offered to the different demigods. Then we may take such reminders as prasadam. This is the correct procedure. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Postscript: I am sending you the Hindi tape record as you have desired by separate book post. You should receive it soon. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is encouraging Upendra. uh, so just work sincerely. So Prabhupada is giving. So if you simply work very strenuously in humble state of mind and sincere servant of Lord, then Krishna will give you all facilities. So one has to serve that mode. We need to that will be so many other things come into in our day-to-day life. There are so many obstacles. We need to cross all those things and work only for the pleasure of Krishna. So that is one point. And also uh, Prabhupada mentions that you need to follow rules and regulations and chant very strictly. So this is yad yadacharati sreshtaha tat devye taro naraha sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tadanavattate. Then people will follow you. Otherwise, it's simply a hypocrisy. And about the demigods here, our Vaishnavas in Krishna consciousness especially, we respect all living entities. What to speak of demigods? We have all our humble respects to them, all respects as part and parcel of servitors of the Supreme Lord Krishna. On that respect, but we do not worship that demigods are only supreme, like we don't do that one. Krishna mentions that Kamastaisar Hridjanaha Prapadyanti Anya Devataha Tam Tam Nimam Astaya Prakrutya Nita Svaya. If you are worshipping demigods, then you will be conditioned by the nature. Then you will have to go through this again material bonding stuff. But devotees of Krishna, they are above the three material modes of nature. They do not fall into this category of the material world. It is mentioned, Mamchayo Abhisharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate, Sagunam Samatitechan Brahma Bhogyaya Kalpate. They will be transcending to three material modes of nature. So Krishna consciousness is transcendental. Okay, that Prabhupada is stressing here, but we respect all the living entities. Manasaitani Bhutani Pranamed Bhumanayan Yeshwaro Jivakalaya Pravishto Bhagavaniti. Knowing that Lord is in the heart of all living entities, we offer Pranmed Bahumanayan with so much of respect. It doesn't matter, it is uh, human or animals or anything, and also demigods. Demigods are all the appointed servitors of the Lord in the for the universal administrations. And then further Prabhupada is asking about the and also giving example how to take the prasadam. First of all, we offer prasadam to Jagannatha and then we take it as the remnants. So later on, food stuff is offered to uh, different demigods as well. But here, one point here, Prabhupada mentions that we may not take their prasadam if invited. This is very, very important. Sometimes different worshippers of the demigods, they perform some pujas, Durga Puja, Ganesh Puja, and Murugan Puja like that. But they prepare prasadam and offer it to those deities and then distribute it. But actually, people who are making it, they're not Krishna consciousness. It needs to be the devotees who are following the four regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds minimum. If they are preparing the prasadam and that will be purified and sanctified and offer it to the Lord as bhoga, later we take it. But people who follow these different demigods, they do not follow these rules and regulations, and they may use onions and garlic sometimes. We do not know, and their consciousness is in different state. That we do not know. That is a question for the sanctity of the food at the prasadam. So because of that, we do not take any prasadam. If we are invited, we just simply go and offer obeisances, and we don't take prasadam. That Prabhupada is mentioning here. Okay, so this is the correct procedure Prabhupada mentions. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. We shall cover this letter tomorrow. So that is from, and then from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have teachings of Lord Chaitanya at 8 p.m. Okay, and also one more point that we are coming nearer to Damodara month, so that is going to start on 7th of October, where 30 days all devotees take turns to sing Damodarastakam and also read the translations like previous years. Okay, that is from the announcements point of view. Okay, if you are all happy, so we shall conclude our session. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की